Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we are looking into the feasibility of making a completely new phone operating system. The idea here is, I got like the first Android phone ever. I made the second Android phone ever, HTC Magic, if I remember correctly. This thing was the second HTC Android phone after the HTC Dream, which I think was the first one. I think it was like something along here. This was back in, what year would this have been? 2009, right? I was a wee lad and I got a new smartphone, the first smartphone, and it was so exciting. And it ran Linux, and I was like, sick, Linux on a phone. And like since this time, I've wanted like Linux on my phone to be like a computer. Like since then. And I kept thinking it was gonna happen. Every once in a while you hear about this, somebody came out with a new Linux phone or like a Linux convergence device or something, and you can like dock your phone into a monitor and like run your normal software. But like it never really came to fruition. That's kind of like morphed in my head a little bit. I just think it'd be cool to have like a Linux phone. I bought the Pine phone at some point. This thing sucks ass. It's so bad. Right? But like it's like the right idea, right? There is like, holy shit, Magic, thank you for the 20 gifties. That's crazy. I gotta keep introing, but like thank you. It's like in the right direction, right? They built like, they run like GNOME on a phone, and it like kind of works, but it's like super slow and like not good. Right? And part of that is because like the hardware is bad, but part of it is because the software is bad. Right? And so I'm like, I've wanted this thing for like forever. Why don't we just like make it? Why don't we just make it, right? There's this project Ubuntu Touch, which is like another, it's like another Linux phone OS. There's a few. There's like Postmarket OS. There's Ubuntu Touch. There's like some like Debian, Mobian based one. And there's like, there's like a KDE desktop. Nothing really feels good when I use it though. But these guys have like an interesting approach that I think is like very cool. It's, you take an existing Android phone, you keep all of the drivers and the kernel from that phone, and you just slap your own user space on top. And so that's kind of what I want to explore. My thoughts are we can try to build like a whole distro from scratch almost. I don't really know where that's going to go, but today is kind of about exploring what that means. I don't really know what this is. What I do know. Okay, so back in the day, I bought my Android phone, and it ran on Android open source project. Kronberg and Magic, thank you for the tier 1 in the Prime. Much appreciated. This is exciting, right? You have like a phone OS. It is completely open source. But what happens here, okay, the reason I'm going through like the history of my experience with Android phones, because I think that it will help build context for how I understand these things, right? So most vendors, they created like their own version. They would like fork AOSP, build a bunch of shit, and then they would ship that, right? And then you go like, ew, I don't want any of that stuff. I just want like stock Android, and I want it to go fast, right? So people started making like custom ROMs because they had access to the Android source code. You could just like build one from scratch, right? And back in the day, when I had my HTC Magic, the big boy in the room was a Cyanogen mod. That was what it's called. And this guy, he basically, I think it started by like, he themed it a little bit. He added like some like UI features that they didn't have in original Android. Like, when you like drag down from the start and you click like the Wi-Fi symbol and stuff, that was like not in Android before. But this guy added it, right? And he had these like kernel configs that made things smooth, turned on like RAM compression, all this shit, right? And so he became like kind of like this de facto guy. Steve something, if I remember correctly. And so like, as new devices came out, more and more got like Cyanogen mod support. At some point, this rebranded to Lineage OS. This is going to be important. Lineage OS is like huge. Every phone I get now, like just by default, I will only buy phones that are supported by Lineage OS, which is like a lot of them. And I kind of view it as like, I don't want to buy some phone and have like the company's spyware on it, right? I want to get like a fresh Windows install, right? And Lineage OS is like kind of like the closest thing that you can get on many devices to like a stock Android that is like supported everywhere, right? I don't really know at this point. I haven't used like a non-Lineage OS thing for so long. I don't really know what kind of tweaks that they're making over stock Android anymore. I think it's minimal. I think it's more like a device compatibility layer than anything at this point. But I could be wrong there. So what this like Ubuntu Touch project does is they take Lineage OS's work and build on top of it, right? So our stack is AOSP, Android open source project. Then Lineage OS builds on top of this and kind of like brings in device support for all of these like wide range of devices. On top of that is this project called Halium. Okay? And the idea here is that I guess we should probably say vendor as well. Vendor OS, right? So what happens is the vendor, he's gonna write some kernel drivers, right, for Wi-Fi on his chipset, right? Maybe like this Qualcomm chip has like a Wi-Fi thing embedded in it, and like you need to learn how to talk to it. I'm not sure if that's how it works. There's like a modem somewhere. I don't know who owns the modem, but somebody has to talk to it, right? And so they will like write a kernel driver that like works with this thing, except that they kind of pull like the NVIDIA bullshit, right? Where they have like a closed source user space blob, and that kind of like talks to this kernel driver. The kernel driver, you know, it has to be open source. So we're going to get like kernel sources from these vendors for our device, which is like a really, really good place to start. But because there's so much like user space shit, the drivers are not like, one, these things are like not merged into mainline Linux, and two, they require some like binary blobs to work, right? So if you have like a GPU driver, a lot of that work is going to be like an OpenGL implementation that is like a closed source blob. And what's really interesting here is on Android, they don't have libc. You know, usually like all of your programs, you write like GCC, you know, test, and if you use like printf in like your C program, right? You have like include std.io, and you go like int main void, right? And in here, you're just like printf hello world, right? This goes into your like libc implementation and calls puts in libc. Android has this thing called libbionic, if I remember correctly. And this is like a lot like libc, but it's not like how do I say this? It's not like API compatible. They've like made actual changes to the API of libc, if I understand this correctly, which I might not. Which means that you can't just like drop in your libc and like use it. So if you're like writing software, normal software, and you're trying to compile against libc, like you can't use that. And you can't just like recompile all of your software against libbionic, because like it just won't work. They're going to use symbols that aren't there. Or like Bionic will behave differently. There's like reasons why you can't do this. I've never like compiled anything against it, so like grain of salt, right? But if we want to like compile our software and use like normal Linux software that like is supposed to link against libc, then what the fuck do we do, right? We can either compile against libbionic, which kind of like removes our ability to run a lot of Linux software, I assume, right? Or we find some way to like how do I say this? So there's like these drivers, right? An OpenGL driver on your phone. It was compiled against libbionic, right? So if I want software that will like call into the OpenGL implementation, I also need to use libbionic, or I need some sort of like wrapper library, right? So there's this thing called like libhybris, libhybris, and his job is essentially to like marshal calls between like normal libc and like libbionic. So my understanding is that this allows you to like have like a Wayland app that uses like EGL to initialize OpenGL, and it will like somehow like DL open libbionic and like the actual OpenGL driver, and like figure out how to like convert the things that you said into the things that it wants, right? So there's kind of this like libbionic thing that we have to think about, as well as libhalium, as like a way, or sorry, libhybris, sorry, as a way to translate calls between like, this is like libbionic to libc, kind of hand wavy, right? And so this allows us to reuse the like user space shared objects that vendors have shipped to talk to the Wi-Fi radio or to their like GPU drivers, Do you mean glibc? Yeah, sure, maybe. Sure. Um, and yeah, so that's kind of like one step of this. Then there's like kind of like this other step where, okay, so you can now like talk to these things, but if I want to like use Wi-Fi on my device and the Wi-Fi is talking through this like, really specific library compiled against libbionic, you need some daemon probably that sits there and like talks to the kernel driver, right? So halium, if I understand correctly, is like operating system image based around libhybris. And so this guy has things like he has like systemd services that launch like vendor user space shit, kind of. And like some way to interface with these in a standard way. Wait, right? So this is about like my level of understanding right now, which is like very, very, very coarse, right? I don't really understand what's going on here. And so what I want to do today is I want to like look into kind of like a halium build and understand what we're looking at, right? I don't really know. So I guess also because of my experience with like Lineage OS, I also know that there's Android typical like boot / like modding, right? There's this thing called like fast boot where you can look at like partition. You can basically like flash images to partitions. And it seems like there's kind of like a fixed layout of partitions that most Android devices have, right? There's boot, data, system are like ones that you're typically going to see. And I think that these are like a forced layout by like the bootloader, I think. I don't really know. But like typically what you're going to see is you're going to have like a boot image in like a custom ROM. You're going to have like a system image. You might have like recovery image. And then like data is kind of for like user data. So this stuff gets like wiped. And so I think that when I've built libhalium, when I've built halium, it has given me these. And I think that I'm supposed to like flash them onto the system somehow. And I guess like the bootloader comes up and he says, let me look at boot image. I think there's probably a RAM disk in there, probably a kernel, and system image I think is more for like, user bin shit, right? I've got like executables in here. I think it's a boot image of the kernel. I think it's the kernel and the RAM disk and like some metadata, I think. So where am I right now? Right now, I have gone through the Ubuntu Touch build guide somewhere. Here, this one. And so they kind of talk about, they're built on top of halium. And so I've kind of gone through and I've built a system image and a boot image, I think. So I had to like make like a Docker image because this stuff like expected, some shit to be where it's supposed to be. So I just like took like the Ubuntu 2004 image and installed a bunch of shit on top. But I think I'm in Halium. This is where my stuff is. And I managed to get it to build something. So they already have support for my 1+5, so that's really great. And I think that I have something in Target probably Target product cheeseburger. Cheeseburger is the code name for my phone. And in here we have like system image and Halium boot image. So I kind of tried to get through the like boring compilation stuff off stream. And now we're kind of into like, can we look at this thing and try to boot it and like see what it does, right? Some important context here. They talk about in the intro, maybe, build. Where the fuck were we? They talk about somewhere in here. Where am I? Building and booting. They talk about this concept of there's Halium boot method of booting stuff, where they talk about somewhere they explain GSI, some words I saw somewhere. Generic system image. Okay, so they kind of talk about this idea where vendor blobs also have their own partition now. vendor. And so like there's kind of a system image that is shared by everyone on like all ARM64 guys use like the same system image. And then you have kind of like custom kernels in boot and like vendor blobs in vendor. That's my understanding so far. So like we're trying to create a like specific system image out of our something. I don't really know yet. So I think what we built from Halium is unrelated to Ubuntu Touch, which is like the guide that we're following right now, right, as like a starting point. So I think Halium, if I understand correctly, is like the base layer, and you build like your stuff on top of that in this world. Maybe we won't, but that's what they've done. And so kind of where I got to was in this build steps, they eventually tell us, you can install this thing. And you have kind of like your boot image and your Halium system image, and you're supposed to like hook it up to like some root FS, right? So there's like the Ubuntu Touch root file system. And so I think that like the next step that I've got to here is that we call this like Halium install thing that somehow like bundles the system image that we built for Halium plus the root FS for like the external project. So this will probably be like what we end up making is like some like root FS on top of this, maybe. And then it will put things somewhere. Let's kind of like see what that does. So I think it's like, they say go path to Halium install, and they say call Halium install with these arguments. I don't know what the fuck this means, but we gotta start somewhere. I think I downloaded Ubuntu Touch. Yeah. And we have a system image at, I guess, out target product cheeseburger system image, I think. Let's just like see if this does something. Please specify Ubuntu Touch version. I don't know. You tell me. What did I download? I clicked this. This is something from like years ago. Can you like tell me about this? Last build, view. Can we like look at it? Can we like, what's in this? Yeah, this seems to be some sort of like typical root of S. etc. Do they have like their little version thing? What is it? Like issue, I think? 1604. Ubuntu Touch 1604. S image not found in path. Okay, so let's like add that shit, I guess. I don't know, man. So he wants whoop. Sure. I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. It's Xenial 1604. Oh, I guess it does say Xenial here, huh? Good eye. I guess we forgot that, you know, we have to do, please don't ask me for shit. Sir, you're a Docker file. Just fucking run that shit, dude. Hello. I presume also that we're gonna hit some problems here. 10 years old Ubuntu version, yeah. But look, I'm just following the guide. Okay? I'm just doing what it says. Halium. This thing. Okay. It's doing something. Running root of as into mountable image. That's exciting. Do you think that we should just let this go forever, or do you think that it's bugged? It does exist. Chroot failed to run password, no such files directory. Okay. So that's great. Love that. So I guess that means that like somebody are like, yeah, what the fuck is going on here? I guess we have to like start understanding what this thing does. I guess that's our only option. Like, what the fuck is this thing? Can we just like, I guess, oopsies. So halium install. What this guy's job must be to make some sort of like rootfs something, right? He's like taking the halium base and he's probably like copy pasting the like tarball of the Ubuntu rootfs on top of this thing, squishing them together and like creating a user somewhere, I would guess. So he's calling like password probably to like set the user of that guy, right? So I guess we should look for this like chroot failed to run command. So there's probably like setup password, right? Chroot run. So he's going in here. He's trying to call setup password. So he's probably going into this rootfs, trying to run password, and then being like, yo, password doesn't exist. So I guess the question is, does password exist in wherever the fuck this was? Like, find dot dash name password, right? There's user bin password. Okay. So then the question would be, what's he pissed about? Password. Do until success is crazy. Crazy. He's saying call this thing into rootfs password user. Oh, I think I saw something in here that I might not have done, actually. You know what? I think I saw something in this guide related, that may be related to this. It was in setting system as root. For Halium 9, we need the system image to be built as system as root. Please check your board config for the following line. Like, maybe this is related, but probably not. I don't really see. What if we just don't run password? What if we just don't do this? What if we just remove this do until success and see what that does? Fuck it. Fuck it. Nope. Do until success. I mean, this isn't even called. Oh, I didn't save. Oh, because permission denied. Oh, because this thing's fucking running as root in the Docker image. God damn it. Fine. I guess that means I have to edit here. I guess we'll install them. Gross. Path not set? Yeah, could be. Could be. I guess we could start also like injecting our own debug information there as well. But we'll see. I want to just see what happens if we do this. So it's like vim halium install. What was this thing? Oh my god. Password. Distributions. Functions. Halium install functions distributions. Set up password. So I just want to see what happens. We remove this and let's just see what happens. Maybe everything will break. Maybe like the ch root is just like totally fucked, right? That's like a very real option. So okay. I mean, that's not that bad. Okay, so like what did it... Oh, and then he's mad because ADB is not found. So here we're in like core line 89. It's fine. I mean, it's not great, but it's fine. We'll live. Okay. So like this thing made a thing. Maybe it's broken. Maybe it's not. And can we figure out how to like fucking... Let's just see if we can like flash that shit. So booting. When you boot for the first time, you'll normally not see anything on the screen. Blah, blah, blah. How do I fucking boot, though? I guess they're just telling us. If your system booted successfully, you'll be able to connect your device with SSH. But we won't because our password's not set, probably. How do I, like, run this shit? Hello? installing, I guess. We didn't finish this. So where system image is blah, blah, blah. Okay, here we have to flash the boot image, and then I presume that this thing is either modifying the existing system image or like creating a new one, right? Like, can we check M time on, or I guess we could just look, right? So what are we calling? We're calling halium install, who, you know, he's got his arguments of system image here. Okay. So he's calling this thing writing to mountable image, but like where does it go? Like, where is it going? Image dir system image. Okay, where's image dir? Like, are we serious? Does he move that shit later? So are you telling me the output of this thing is halium install in like no way, right? Did you finish the barcode neural network? I got to the point off stream where it like kind of worked. Like I got like a 95, I got like a 100% score on like hand rolled, or sorry, on our like fake data. But I was not, you know, there's a lot more to do there, but the next steps seemed not exciting to me anymore and like hard to stream. So we kind of lost some steam there. That's okay. Okay, so it looks like we imager gets, like this thing will copy to somewhere else. It might be that the script isn't finishing because ADB didn't work, right? That's a possibility. Because I don't see like, yeah, it looks like they're trying to do a lot more, which is interesting here. What is test mode here? No, that's not what we want. System as root. Install mode? Okay, I'm not sure, man. I mean, this thing is going somewhere, right? So I guess we look for what they're doing with this thing. Shrink images. Flash image, maybe? Nah. It does seem like this thing is supposed to install, which makes me think that it's exiting early. Can we, like, Android tools, ADB maybe? Yeah, there we go. Let's see if that changes anything. Because it looks like he is supposed to be doing stuff. So it looks like he's maybe making like a temp FS thing. And then, yeah, here we go. No devices emulators found. Yeah, so this is not what I want. I don't think. Can I, like, is he expecting us to be in fast boot mode or something? Like, I have things that I want to flash. Surely they go somewhere, right? Okay. ADB. Yeah, I just don't want to do this. In dir mode, nothing is being mounted, so unmount would fail. Injecting Android image to rootfs. I don't feel like I want either of this. Okay, so he shrinks images, unmounts. Oh, maybe this is fine. So how does this like image dir get cleaned up? Oh, clean exit. I see. Hold on. clean exit is a function that calls clean devices. So he removes the image dir. Dude, what a crazy... Why are we being like this? How confusing. So he's supposed to be like putting this stuff on there. I think we just don't want to do that. So I think that we run in test mode here. I think we run in test mode and then manually flash this shit ourselves. That's kind of what I think I want to do. Because otherwise we just lose that shit. Right? Because test mode, we won't clean exit. Yeah, let's do that. I guess. JJ, thank you for the prime. Thank you. So how do I set test mode? TM. And then maybe these things have to come first, so I'll just slap a TM here. Okay. And I guess we can see what happens then. So here we should have like halium install images rootfs or something. Yeah. So I think that we have our images here, and we should just be able to like fast boot flash those, probably. I don't know, man. I actually don't know. Does he make like... I guess maybe this... Oh, okay, wait. No, this is like actually doing something. Okay, I think that he wants us to be in recovery mode. That's kind of what this is looking like to me now. I think I saw somewhere in here that I'm supposed to install like a specific recovery. Probably. And I just ignored that part. I don't know where that was. I saw something about like twerp somewhere. Preparations, probably. Yeah, they want this. Sure, fuck it. Cheeseburger. Add. Close. Jesus Christ. Here we go. Oh my god, fuck off! Does the twerp thing still exist? Last time I used this like 5 years ago. I guess so. I mean, we're downloading something. This could be an outdated as fuck guide too, though. So I think this guy said somewhere that we're supposed to flash our own boot image first, I think, and then use the installer script to get the system image in, I think. So we should be doing still like flash boot. Where is this thing out? Target, product, cheeseburger, halium boot, fast boot flash, fast boot devices. Uh-oh, that's not good. Is it not plugged in? It's not plugged in. There we go. Okay. And then I guess we flash the recovery to the twerp we just downloaded, probably, is what they wanted. Probably. I'm assuming that none of this stuff is gonna cause, like, mega problems. But, I guess it could. And then we go into the recovery on my phone, which you guys can't see, but that's okay. Wait for this for a second. Let's see. He's waiting. There's a little logo. Who knows if he's... Oh! That looks like twerp, if I've ever seen one. Hell yeah, baby. Which means that we should be able to be like ADB devices in here now. List of devices, nothing. Okay. Okay, so that's good. He's saying like, hey, twerp can leave your system partition unmodified. Oh, swipe to allow modifications. I will swipe. Okay. Cool. So we should be able to now run that install script, maybe? Right? Fuck this, like, test mode shit. Leo, thank you for the 5 gifties. Much appreciated. So now what we're expecting this guy to do is he's going to, like, generate some sort of new image. He's gonna, like, use ADB and do a bunch of, like, this shit on the device. So he's kind of, like, hoping that he can, like, get in and poke and prod what he wants to poke and prod. So I don't see shit happening here. It could be that this CH root is failing and, like, bubbling up. That's, like, possible. So I guess we should figure out why that's happening, huh? So what if we just do... So we know that there should be something in user bin, right? We saw it in user bin. So maybe, like, path is wrong. That's, like, a very real possibility. So let's just throw this there for a second, just to see. Just to see. You know, that's our first problem. Potential problem. No such file. Okay, so, like, that's fucking weird to me. That kind of indicates to me that something's fucking wrong, right? Right? Like, we have this. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on a second. Am I on the wrong fucking... Oh my god. Did I download, like, the wrong architecture? That file might not found might be because it's trying to run, like, an ARM binary on an ARM64 thing, or vice versa. Oh my god. Really? I guess we have the extracted root of S here as well. So this is 64-bit or AR64 binary trying to launch with LD Linux AR64. Oh. So I bet somewhere we saw what they were like, you need QEMU, right? They said you need this shit somewhere, right? They said we need this stuff. And so I bet what they're fucking doing is they are trying to run an AR64 binary on my host machine using bin format. So bin format, if I remember correctly, is a way for you to, like, automatically call interpreters for certain types of things. Yeah, that's crazy. That's fucked up. So I bet that, like, can we, like, is this because I'm in, like, a Docker image and, like, I can't fucking run QEMU in Docker? Like, that seems kind of likely, right? Like, like, is this allowed? Is this allowed? Does this say anything, like, is this even about Docker? Yeah, it is. Like, do I need to pass in some bullshit? ls user lib exec. Did I get this thing? Bin format support? Yeah. And then QEMU is a fairly ordinary program when it's doing emulation. Maybe bin format isn't registered inside Docker. Yeah, I seem to remember there being some, like, hookup to the Linux kernel that has to happen here that maybe isn't being passed through. So, like, Yeah, how can we test this? Yeah. So it's, yeah, I think that this no such file or directory usually is like something about, um, this can also be said if it's looking for like libld.so or whatever, right? And it's like, what the fuck? I can't run that. Um, fuck. Okay, bin format, AR64 binary. There's like some way to do this using QEMU and blah 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 blah. Okay. QEMU user static. We that's not what we want. Solution mount bin format music. Let's just see. Okay. So this exists, right? Which is good. There should be now this guy. But QEMU arm. I guess QEMU arm is probably right. Unless QEMU arm like in QEMU AR64 are different. But sure. Ooh, there does, I do remember there being some sort of like bin format daemon. What does this do? Systemctl not installed. So how does like QEMU arm is 32-bit? Yes, this seems like a little sketchy, but I guess there's this. Proxys fs bin format music this. Run bin format. Okay, that's interesting. This doesn't exist, right? So like that seems suspect. Seems suspect. So when we did this, when we copy pasted their install command for QEMU shit, like, is there like different QEMUs for like Arch64 or whatever? Like, did I install the wrong thing? Is it like giving me the wrong shit? Can we do like apt search QEMU? Like, I feel like it's weird that there's no like AR64 one in there, you know? That's just how I feel. ARM. But we don't have like a specific one. Huh. Can we look at this again? User bin QEMU. Okay, so this exists, right? That's good. But then how come bin format stuff is not there? You know, what was it? Proc sysfs bin format music. Is QEMU AR64 static runnable? Yeah, good question. User bin QEMU AR64 static. Like password. Yeah, okay, that's better, right? I think. So we can probably like chroot and like get this there. But like then the question is why doesn't that happen by default? So can we try this on like an ARM binary? Like if I understand this correctly, if we download the other Ubuntu rootfs for not AR64, but for ARM v7 or whatever, then this should work. It's kind of my understanding as of right this second. But we could see. I mean, obviously this will be like broken as fuck because it's like the wrong architecture. But if like we have at least a bin format thing for ARM there, if I understand this correctly. You know what? This might be because like some Docker shit where like proc is linked to like my proc. That actually could be it. Yeah. Yeah. So it's, oh, that's fucked up. Right? So if we look at like, yeah. Maybe, I don't know. But they're definitely linked in some way. Can I use QEMU bin format in Docker? Like, okay. Bum 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 bum. Fuck, why is everything so hard? Why is everything so hard, man? Okay, we can still test our theory. So can we move downloads, Ubuntu, whatever, to here, and then we try to do a halium install, whatever the fuck, but we point it to the ARM HF version. And it didn't get mad. It also didn't like do anything, which is confusing. But it seems like it worked, I think. God damn, dude. Okay, Halium install Halium. We can look at distribution or if other functions distributions. What is their like chroot command? They're just literally calling root chroot. So we can confirm this easily, right? We can go. We can unpack ARM version. Hello? What the fuck? Oh, was this thing not finished downloading yet? It wasn't. Is it still growing? No. God damn it, I see. God damn it. We taking a break from barcodes? Yeah, I'm just like not excited by it anymore for some reason, so. 1 minute left. God damn it, dude. Okay, can we, how do we like install bin format? Bin format NixOS? Maybe? Boot bin format? Emulated systems. Yeah, I bet you that this is it, right? If we, hold on, I don't really want to leak my NixOS config. Okay. That's interesting. Hold on. We'll do this. Yeah, right, we got like AR64 here, but not QEMU ARM, which is interesting. Okay. Did this thing finish downloading? Not quite. It's forever a minute left. Forever a minute left. God damn it. So that's actually interesting too, that we have an AR64 thing in there. And then yeah. So that explains this, right? So we can confirm here as well. I guess we can't confirm shit. Bin format support. Let's just see what this does. Apt install bin format support or whatever the fuck it was. What do we install? What did we install? It was bin format support. Like, what the fuck is this thing? Because there was also something we saw about like a systemd package, right? Which means that like there's probably some sort of like install thing that you have to do to like register your formatters or your like your thing. Update bin formats. Update bin formats help. Bin formats support, blah blah blah. Yeah, so there's probably like a systemd module that thing installs that like figures out which QEMU things you have support for or something, right? So we're probably supposed to like, there's probably something like that, right? Okay, this thing finished downloading. So can we move this shit over here? Uh-oh. What just happened? What's happening? Okay. So we think if we go into this guy, which one is it? User bin password. Okay. This is 64-bit, so it's gonna be the other one. 3675. This is 32-bit. And we're like chroot dot user bin password. Ah, yep. Okay. Okay. So we have like the answer here to some extent, right? Is that we can run an ARM binary, but not an ARM64 binary, which is causing the install script to fail. Right? So there's something there. So somewhere we saw maybe this guy. He's like, yo, you have to restart the bin format thing, systemd unit, which doesn't exist, but there is. Oh, okay, okay. Can we just run this script? Okay. Oh, let's fucking go, baby. Let's fucking go. So this probably has to be run on like entry to the guy or whatever, but that's okay. Okay, so now we can try to run this halium install again with the correct ARM64 thing. Okay. So maybe this will do something. Who knows? Okay. Phablet. Okay. Oh, sick. It's doing stuff. It's doing stuff. Let's fucking go, baby. Let's go. And this probably fucked up my actual computer, right? Right? Because, you know, he's just got a bunch of stuff that he doesn't have executables for anymore. But we're getting somewhere. Okay, cool. So this guy's throwing a rootfs on ADB. He's doing some shit. While this is happening, I guess we should like do some reading. So or maybe some inspection, right? Can we like see like what the fuck these things are, right? We know that we have a boot image, system image, this like rootfs image. I don't know what any of this is, right? And so we need to like the goal, assuming that this will work and we boot something, we need to understand how we would make our own, I guess. So I guess where I want to start is boot image. That's probably where the fucking kernel lives, right? So can we like file boot image? This is an Android boot image. Can we like extract that thing? No. Okay. What is like Android boot image format? Like, what is this thing? What is it? I see. I see. So they've got like a structure where they probably just like pack this shit in there. And it's got like a magic. He's got my kernel he's got like a kernel and RAM disk in here stuck at some offsets. Plus like the command line, right? So you can guess pretty quickly what this thing is going to do, right? The bootloader is going to look at this Android defined boot format, and he is going to like take the kernel from some location and put it into this spot. Probably it's in a defined place in here somewhere. He's going to take like the RAM disk and load it here. And so like probably the executable for the kernel like is like assuming that the RAM disk lives in like a specific spot in RAM or something. I don't know what second is, but sure. So he's gonna like probably jump over there and do something. Buildroot project is a good place to poke around for what's worth. I won't mention it again, but someone had to say, yeah, I've used Buildroot before. Sorry, I apologize for like ignoring you guys in chat a little bit. It's like I'm like there's a lot going on. So I think that if I understand this correctly, I should be able to like, just reboot my phone now, and something might happen. Wasn't there a tool like make boot image that could unpack boot image? Yeah, this guy's what this guy's talking about. Make boot image not found. What is this thing? Unpack boot image platform. Oh, hold on. Phone's doing something. He rebooted to fast boot, so it just didn't fucking work. Which is pretty fair. I don't know. Can we look at let me think for a second. I would like to see, maybe we can download like an Ubuntu Touch image and like compare to like what the fuck we have, and maybe that will be interesting in some way. Where are there like downloads for this thing? Like how do I download? They must have builds for this guy somewhere. Like some devices are not like supported, right? So how to install? I don't want to use the ubports installer. I don't want to do that. ubports packages. Do I have to? Yeah, it's fucking annoying. I don't want this. Fuck you. ubports builds. Here we go. Can we search cheeseburger? Okay. Sure. So this has got their boot, their tar. So this is our maybe rootfs. Maybe this is our boot image, probably from their thing, and then we can probably pull it together from there. It really depends on what's in this, I think. Really depends on what's in here. Oh, nice. This one's going way faster. When was I click view on this? Yeah, I don't know what I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting. Okay. I guess we just let this fucking ride. I guess we can look for unpack boot image. It's just a compressed standard RAM disk and a kernel strapped on top. Yeah, I believe. I think you're right. I think. Oh, this comes from CyanogenMod shit, I guess, is what this guy's coming from. So maybe it's like in here somewhere. Find dot dash iname make boot image. Ah, yeah. I see. And then there's our unpack boot image. Hey, you, I don't know. Okay. Okay, that's okay. Okay, so what is in that thing we just downloaded? Oopsies. Halium cheeseburger. What's in this thing? Okay. Okay. So he's got partitions here. And I think I saw something about Android rootfs in the install instructions somewhere. So I think we're on the right track. Yeah. So looks like we do have like a vendor image that we should flash according to these guys. I don't know where that comes from. You were looking for S image to image, I think. There's a sparse image package on Ubuntu at least. S image to image. What the fuck is this? Interesting. Yeah, that is. Well, if maybe for, I think S image to image is probably for system. If we're trying to extract the boot image, maybe not. But this is also interesting. Probably. Okay, let's start with just like let's just take this stuff that we just got here that we downloaded from, their world. We didn't build this shit, but they, maybe it's interesting. And we should be able to like do some like fast boot, flash, boot, halium cheeseburger, partitions. Like surely they want us to do this. And then they want us to do this, right? Surely. It's usually all partitions, but I think boot and recovery might be special though. Yeah, I suspect that boot is, but we could be wrong. I mean, I could be wrong. Let's just kind of like throw these guys around and then just see what happens. This, maybe they have like their own recovery that's not twerp anymore. Okay, so I go back to my phone. I jump to recovery mode. We see what happens. We should see eventually like ADB devices should show something or something. Boom, 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 boom. And I guess we should also double check. I guess we don't know what's in here. We can mount it. Make dir temp. Mount. This thing. Temp. Do I have to like fucking sudo this shit or something? Maybe, right? Can I just unpack Android rootfs? No. It says that it's like an ex2 partition. So can I not? I might need to do this as root, right? Also ADB devices. It looks like flashing that recovery just kind of has me like stuck. So that's not good. I'm holding the fucking power button on my phone, waiting for it to turn off. Trying to get to go back to recovery mode. He's doing something. It's very possible that recovery is like fucked. Very possible. Or maybe he's just working hard. Who knows? Okay. I am interested in not doing that because but nothing in the instructions said that we should be flashing the recovery, so let's not do that part. I'm holding power on my phone again, waiting for it to turn off. Okay. Fast boot mode? I think we should be able to get into fast boot mode? Yep. Okay. So, can we just, like, flash recovery? Was it twerp? Yeah. Let's go again. Let's go again. And then we're going to try to run halium install. Hello? I guess we don't have it anymore. Halium install. Halium install. What was the command? Oh my god. This. Oh, right. I wanted to know is like what this thing we downloaded just now from their fucking website? Like, was it? What did we download? We searched cheeseburger. So we need to know like what version of Android this is, I guess. No, 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 no. Which is not super trivial. I guess we can look at. Maybe it says somewhere here. Down, out. Oh, here. Does it say he's got 2004 and 1604? Which makes me think that this is probably 2004, but who knows? Who knows? Not me. But that's okay. We gotta make some guesses. Okay. Oh no, we have this and this. Oh, okay. So the system image is literally only halium shit. Okay, wait. That's interesting. So it is 1604. We have Ubuntu, ARM, 64, rootfs, and we want to try using their image, their system image, in case we fucked it up in some way. Right? Halium, cheeseburger, system, boom, 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 right? And let's just see if this does something sane or not. I mean, I don't see anything interesting happening. So... who fucking knows, man? Like, didn't we see... echo this? It did fail. With just, like, zero information. Zero information. Fuck. Fuck. Everything's so hard. Everything's so hard. Okay. Do we fucking bite the bullet and try to run their fucking installer? Like, I just want, like, something to look at. We need something to look at as, like, a baseline of, like, this thing fucking booted and ran, right? I kind of thought that if I built it myself, that would start somewhere interesting. But clearly not. Because we are stuck. So maybe we start with their thing, then we kind of work our way backwards. Because, like, the eventual goal is to not use Ubuntu Touch, right? But I mean, we gotta start somewhere. That's interesting, but maybe it's fine. Maybe this is related to why we got fucked. Maybe. App image? Sure. Just see if we can fucking run this thing, I guess. Can we run that? Do app images work in Nix? No. NixOS cannot run these. For more information, see this. Oh, app image, NixOS. Everything's so hard. Okay. Easy. Easy fix. Give him a sec. He's working. He's working. All right. App image run. Blah 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 blah. I don't want you to do that. I think I have UDEV rules for Android shit set up correctly. I think. We are a 1+5. Select. Dude, I fucking hate follow. Before, make sure that blah, 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 blah. My device is unlocked. Unlock your device. Dude, what a fucking annoying... Like, I fucking have all the pieces I have here. Like... Sure, I don't know. Let's just see what fucking happens. Oh my god, fuck off. Fuck off. I don't care. Wipe user data. Okay. Gotta love just ripping random commands. Yeah. Reboot to bootloader. Okay. We can do that. We can do that. We can do that. Reboot. Bootloader. Okay, so maybe it is fine. Maybe it is fine. Continue. Okay, so, like, does it work? Yes, it does. Okay, that's good. I see, like, stuff happening on my phone. So it means that it, like, can do something. These fails scared me, but we're fine. So he goes back to fast boot. He's throwing some shit at it. Okay, okay, something's happening. And I guess if this works, then the play is we have to fucking look at what this guy's doing. Oh, cool, fancy. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Little UB ports recovery. Fancy. Fancy. Who knows what the fuck he's doing? So I guess, like, a question that we would have is why the fuck, when I tried to flash the recovery manually, did it do nothing? Like, we couldn't get in there. But whatever. We sit. We let him run. We let him run. This is UB thing only for Ubuntu Touch? Yeah. That's my understanding. This is, like, the Ubuntu Touch software system. And it's, like, very, very possible that, like, their instructions are, like, super outdated, right? So, like, it's very possible that what we were looking at is just, like, wrong, right? Because, like, who fucking knows? Maybe it's all supposed to be encoded in this thing. This is so much effort for just, like, what the fuck is it? You know, like, I'm just trying to answer the question, what is this stuff? How does it work? You kind of looks like the Ubuntu Windows thing from back in the day. Oh, yeah. Waiting for device. ADB is scanning for devices. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's not good. Nick Shell, Android tools. It might be that like fast boot works and ADB doesn't. ADB devices. If I go into my like other account and do like do this with sudo, does it change anything? Hold on. Hold on. Another day, another spare folder title that hits you on the left field. Yeah. It might be that we have to run this as root. That happens sometimes. Nope. There's nothing. So like, what the fuck? View logs. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. I clicked something. I clicked something and he's mad. Oh, installing update. Wait. Wait, that's good. Look at this. Something's happening. Something's happening. Still probably no devices, right? I wonder if I'm supposed to, like, reboot right now? Reboot. I'll just click the reboot button and see what happens. I'll just see what happens. Surely it can't be that bad. It might be that bad. We might have just fucked shit up. But, like, I mean, what do you want from me? This is why I don't like fucking automated installers. Like, I just want to know what's supposed to be happening right now. I don't know. I don't know. This is promising. Nope, it's not promising. Fast boot mode. Fuck me. So this thing's just, like, fucking broken now, right? And, like, it's like, fuck off. Oh, it's so annoying. Okay. So I guess we did have somewhere, like we did have it working in Docker. We could look at this thing, right? So I guess what we should do next time is check in that context if it works, I guess. We only have two possible outcomes here. Either the device will be detected or the device will be detected. Yeah. Because, like, it's weird that it managed to push things to the device. I thought. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe that's where I got confused here. Oh, no, okay, so this guy finds him. This guy does not. And here we do not either, which is extremely confusing. Maybe ADB kill server. Still nothing. What the fuck is going on? That's confusing. I don't know why the Docker image can see it, but like my Nix cannot. We might have to do some like actual installation. What the fuck? Nix OS ADB. UDEV rules? But like even with sudo. Can you have multiple ADB? Oh, maybe not, right? Good call. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. ADB devices. Yeah, good fucking a call, dude. Okay. So now I don't really care. He's like, we can't connect to your device. Yeah, because you rebooted it. I just saw you rebooted it. Right? It's this. So, like, there's nothing to fucking reconnect to. Maybe. Success. Okay. Okay. So now, wonky. You think I should have like reported wonky? Right now, nothing is really happening as far as I can tell. But maybe that's normal. It might be. I think that I saw somewhere. Yeah, we're just going back to recovery all the time. I don't want to be in the recovery. Hello? Fucking bring me to the system. I think I saw something about like being able to run dmessage and see like stuff happening. Nothing's leaking through here, right? Nothing important. I saw something about being able to like see stuff showing up here. But it does just reboot to fast boot mode. So I think it's just fucked. I think that's the answer here, is that this is just fucked. I hate everything. Because I know that I've had this working before, which is annoying. Which is annoying. We saw something about on the installer thing. We saw something about like installing the right version of Android first, right? Which I think I've seen on like the Lineage wiki as well. That like fast boot flashing like isn't enough. I think because like maybe like device firmware and stuff has to be updated into like the right state. O2, thank you for the Prime, much appreciated. But like I feel like we should be able to get like better diagnostics about why it's not fucking booting. Like that's what's annoying here, is that there's like it just like hard reboots to fast boot mode, and I don't really understand like if that's like a recovery thing or what. Right? Like he's like turned on, and like maybe just like it's failing to boot and like giving up. Right? I see like black screen and now it says fast boot, right? So it's like clearly something's pissed, right? But like why? Why? I guess I guess like what is the state of this phone? Like maybe this phone is just like fucked. I haven't really like booted it for a while. Do we try to okay, let's we saw somewhere. We saw in the installer somewhere. They said like make sure you installed Android 9 first. Or something. Where's like install? Get Ubuntu Touch. Blah 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 blah. What the fuck? Where was the fucking UBports installer? ADBHL logcat? Yeah, it's like not even really booting though, which is more confusing. Here. Please follow these general steps. Unlock the bootloader. Install the required stock Android. Devices usually require a specific version of Android stock ROM to be installed. This depends on the Halium version port. So make sure that you have Android 9 installed before running the installer. Right? So we're not doing that. So I guess we need to look at like 1+5 stock images. They usually provide them for these phones, I think. 1+5 like stock firmware image, maybe. Here we go. Some people were asking, how the fuck do we do this? Okay. Sure. So reject all. Fuck you. OTA. I don't want OTA. If you're, that's not helpful. That's not helpful. Can we like support? Search 1+5. 1+5. Do you have like support packages for this thing? No, not Nord 5. Like what the fuck? Maybe just like fucking archived, because it's like not like a fucking product that they care about anymore because it's so fucking old. Right? Like it's just like maybe not there anymore. 1+5 support. Wait. Okay, there's something here. If it wants specific Helen stuff, maybe it expects to find specific Android bits on the phone. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Uh, what does it say? This is just the same fucking question from Reddit. It's confusing. Uh, these are all such fucking old questions, of course. Because, like, who the fuck has this phone anymore? I downloaded the official OTA on the website. Wait, okay, maybe I should have read a little closer. No, this is just. There's no download button here. Which is annoying. I do remember them, like, giving us more before. That's fun. What does, like, the Lineage OS wiki say? 1.5 is 6. Yeah, it's a little old. It's a little old. Okay, when they talk about here, they often talk about having we need a specific firmware. If your device is using a newer, older version, blah, 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 the required version of this, which may be lower than Lineage OS. If there are multiple updates for that version, make sure to use the latest. Please search online for guys who are able to. Fuck. Fuck. I see a lot of red. Let's keep going. So it could be something along these lines. Although I would assume that this thing was running Lineage before, right? Which would mean that it should be fine. I guess, yeah, we can probably move. We can try to install this. And if this boots, then we know that the problem is probably like with Ubuntu Touch, which sucks because that will be harder to debug. And that kind of sets the tone for where we're going to start on this project. Because I swear to God, I have run Ubuntu Touch on this thing at least one time in my life. I've like seen it happen. Maybe took it to like a web archive of that previous update. Oh yeah, that's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea, but okay, fuck it. Let's start somewhere nice. Let's start somewhere nice. Or permanent damage to your device. Fuck you. You can't tell me what to do. Surely we just like flash the recovery and build and run it, right? They flash the recovery and then go to the recovery and install. Yeah. Okay. So we just want to download this. That's it. Okay. Let's start here. Because we gotta go start somewhere. Fuck me, I guess. What was it? It was just recovery. Oops. The only green thing on that guide is a tip. Okay. Fast boot, flash, recovery, image. Chill. Fast boot, reboot, recovery. And then we should just be able to like fucking sideload their shit once it finishes downloading. And then we don't even really care if it like boots. We just care if we like get like a kernel that launches it all. I guess that's kind of where we're hoping to get to. Bad news bears. That didn't reboot to the recovery. Which means that maybe this recovery is fucked as well. Or like our phone is like fucked to the point where we can't even like run their recovery. Maybe fast boot reboot recovery doesn't reboot into recovery. That's also a very real option. So we'll see. We've got a fucking classic fucking. Oh, he's just. Oh, he's up. Let's go. Recovery mode. Recovery mode. I can also feel that this USB cable is like incredibly loose, which probably isn't like helping like any like data transfer stuff. You know, that's okay. This is almost there. We're at 14 seconds left. CD downloads, and then they're gonna tell us to like wipe our data, right? No? Oh, here. Now tap factory reset. Yeah, factory reset. Format data and factory reset. Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do. Which honestly could have been related to the other stuff failing. Who fucking knows? Okay. ADB sideload. The D's not shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Lineage OS. Oh, I think I have to apply update from ADB for this to work. And then I do this. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, so he's uploading some shit. We gotta wait. But then this guy's gonna tell us that we could install add-ons. We just won't do that because I don't give a shit about that right now. I'm not trying to make like a proper phone. I'm just trying to check if this thing fucking boots. That's all I want. Oh, man. I guess there's some comfort in the fact that it didn't work when we used what's it called? When we used the Ubuntu port stuff and our built stuff, it didn't work in the same way. Where like it just kind of like hard crashed on boot. So maybe that's good. Maybe. Maybe. I like that all of this was just to answer like what the fuck is this stuff? And we can't even boot it, which is like I guess that's step 1. We'll get there. Alright. Please, hurry. He's saying patching system image unconditionally. Thanks, man. This is when at work I just start doing stuff like this, and the people like at work that are standing over my shoulder, they're like, "Dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? Just like stop." And I'm like, "I have to. What do you want? You want me to just like sit here bored? Like I'm gonna move the window around." I did that as well. Yeah, it's a classic. Oh, things are moving on the phone. It looks like he got through it. So is the next step to just fucking reboot? Probably. Reboot system. Let's not read. Reading's for fucking nerds and losers. Wiggling makes it faster. I don't. Oh yeah, when I was a kid, I thought that we came up with this like superstition where if we were playing video games and we looked at the loading screen, it's like a watch pot never boils. You know that thing. So we would, when games were loading, like not look, and then I started doing this thing for like 20 years. Yeah, it did boot, by the way. Like something's happening, which means that the phone itself is not fucked. The software is, which makes more sense, right? That does make more sense. Oh yeah, but we would do this thing where like I would start doing this thing where I would like kind of like cover my I would like kind of like half blink my eyes and then like kind of like make this weird face like this where I was like kind of like half opening them and half closing them, trying to like look but not look. Yeah, okay, this booted. So that's a good-ish sign. Good-ish sign. It means that the phone works. I guess the bad news bears there is that we can't. I guess the last thing to do here, just as a double check, is to run through our install again. Now that we've seen it boot, using this recovery that we know works. Right, I think that's the last step. So we can go back to fast boot mode. We can flash our, ADB kill server. So we can go here and do like fast boot flash boot with our built thing. Sorry, Ginger, you're gonna have to wait. Come here. Come here. Come here. Thank you. Yep, all the way. Come here. Thank you. All right, so we can do this. We can reboot to the recovery, and we can do like the halium install script with a data wipe, everything, and then we can just fingers crossed that it behaves like somewhat reasonably. And if it doesn't, then I guess we study I guess we try to go down a layer, right? I know that it's possible for us to build kernel images from scratch and just like boot them, right? So maybe we try to like go that route where we try to like build a CyanogenMod kernel, Lineage OS kernel, and like, what am I trying to say? Sorry, my brain just melted for a second. Yeah, we can try to like build a kernel and like boot it manually and see if we see any evidence of like, something with our RAM, like a custom RAM disk or something. Because like we need to like get lower. You know? Okay. So what's going on here? We wanted to call halium install. And we wanted to use out target product cheeseburger system image. This is what worked before, I think. We will see. And we'll make sure that we have a good connection here. I'll just make sure I won't wiggle the fucking USB cable. Phablet for the Unix password. Oh, fuck. My headphones are under... God damn it. Hold on. Sudo adb kill server. And then I'm gonna like fucking put the phone underneath my headphones so that it doesn't fucking touch the wire. Okay. ADB devices. Oh, unauthorized, right. So here I had to go... Advanced, maybe? Enable ADB. Here we go. There we go. Okay, let's try again. Right, we're assuming that with this recovery, everything is still fair, which it might not be. But we at least have evidence that we could do something with it before. Okay, nice. Oh yeah, so this is interesting. So definitely like data was not formatted for us before. And if they're like writing to data and expecting it to look a certain way, then that might be causing some problems. Might be. We should like quadruple check as well that this phone is ARM64. It is. Yeah, okay. I was like 75% sure. Okay. I guess we can also try to look at like what was it? It was like S image to image, right? I want to look at what that system image that we made even is, because I don't really know. Right, so we have this thing, one of the things that he has in here is output. Target, product, cheeseburger, S image to image, cheeseburger, like, or maybe it's like just already in here somewhere. Root. Yeah, I guess it's probably this, right? No? Yeah, probably. Or like system. Yeah, system here also probably looks promising. Vendor. Yeah, okay, so here's like a link to vendor. So he's got like, in his rootfs, this is before we add any of the Ubuntu touch shit, right? This is literally just the halium stuff. So we have like maybe an FS tab in here. Who's in charge of like mounting stuff? Maybe that's done. Oh, there's a lot of stuff in here. Like a lot of stuff. Yeah, so they have like camera service, right? Which goes to system bin camera service. Which I guess this is like an ARM executable. So this must come from like somewhere when we built the system. Like there must be camera service that like made this thing somewhere, right? And like that thing must be linking, it must be like providing something, you know? Is this part of the reinvent the universe in order to track diet project? No, no, unrelated. Unrelated. Um yeah, so like find maybe like who makes this thing? It's also like unclear. Ooh, it finished. Reboot? Reboot system. Let's see if something interesting happens. Let's see if something interesting happens. D-message? Anything? We've got a little boot screen happening on the phone. Nothing interesting, just like the okay, black screen. Fast boot. Yeah, okay, so just fucked. It's fucked. We have no evidence of anything but it being fucked. Okay, so I think yeah, the goal should just be can we fucking flash a kernel and see any evidence of anything happening, right? That's kind of the new goal. It's gotta be, right? Because, like, how else? If we see, like, Lineage OS working and us not, it's like, this is like an unsupported device at this point, right? So it's like, it makes sense. We're on old halium, right? There's all sorts of, like, things that could be going wrong here. So I think the new goal is build CyanogenMod kernel, the latest and greatest, try to boot it with any RAM disk. Right? That's probably it. So can we look into like boot, like fast boot custom Android kernel test RAM disk? Like surely this is like a thing that somebody's done, right? RAM disk partitions. Blah blah blah. The first stage RAM disk contains the first stage init binary and vendor fstab files. Cool. So I guess if we manage to get something to boot, how would we like prove it worked? I guess like I think I've seen somewhere that people talked about using like the USB initialization as like a way to flag to the system something's happening. Maybe like post market. Yeah, where would I have seen this? Halium, maybe? USB like boot debugging, maybe? Yeah, here we go. Early init. Uh yeah. So they use the like USB thing. The boot image will write a few debug messages. These messages are communicated via a clever hack of resetting the serial number of the USB connection. Right? So if I like throw this over here, like does that start happening? Maybe we start here. Oh. USB utils. Bum 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 bum. So here we're like, yeah, I mean, I can see in dmessage, like we should see something come up that's oh wait, okay, this is interesting. ID product dude. So that's probably part of this, no? So they're saying while this thing is booting, if the kernel launches and the USB device comes up, ooh. Okay, wait, that's interesting as well. There's hybris recovery, which will just try to force a shell. Okay, but they're saying like there is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is like the first serial number that comes up, maybe? I don't know what this is. LSUSB. They're saying LSUSB dash V. What does this do? I see. So they're saying run this shit in a loop because sure. So this can run in a loop and we'll just see all of our USB devices. And they're saying like, can we do like a echo hello or something just to like get, you know, a breakpoint there? And they're saying like if things are working at all, as part of our early init, we should see like an extra device show up here that says like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or something. So the screen's black right now, which is like when something would be happening and he gives up. Yeah, so I think we're not even getting here. We're not even getting here. Land PBS, thanks for the prime. Much appreciated. So like this is really frustrating because it'd be nice to like have like a JTAG or something to be able to like really look at it. But yeah, I think the assumption that we should make here is that the kernel that we built is just like garbage, right? The kernel, like it needs to be some way and it's not, right? Yeah. Yeah, okay. So I guess we probably want like I'm just trying to think. So maybe we want to boot Lineage OS because we know that's like a thing that works. And we want to maybe hack the kernel such that we get something like early initialization visible to us, right? Maybe we try to do a similar hack to what they're doing here, where they feed some information over the like USB interface information. Right? That's like that is a good hack. I do like that. And then if we can get that to work, we're fucking chilling. Is there like Lineage OS device bring up, right? Is this maybe there's surely like porting guide? Like surely people who are bringing up new phones for the first time must have some debugging tricks, right? Right? So like like yeah, I just don't know like where to find. I'm sure somebody's done this, right? Like Flash custom Linux kernel to Android phone. I think I've seen like a Stack Overflow post about this. ADB shell. I'm talking way earlier than ADB shell. Like way earlier. Like I'm talking like boot kernel with RAM disk. Yeah, like build kernel for Android device or something. Like I've seen something like oh, maybe this seems familiar. Build a custom kernel for Android. Oh, on Debian. No, I'm looking for like the other way. Like if I wanted to run Debian on this thing. Okay. I saw something on the UB ports wiki as well here. There was also standalone kernel method. It is possible without using Halium at all to just like fucking build a kernel and like compile, like do something with that, right? So I guess that's a place to start. This is a place to start where we can try to build the Lineage OS kernel for this thing. Something like that. GitHub. Right, so they have, what is this thing? It's MSM 8998. I think. Hello? Yeah, this one. And in here, they should have a kernel config for our guy. This right here. So they have a kernel config, which is great. So I guess we are winning if we install Lineage OS on this thing again, then boot it with our own custom kernel. With our own custom boot image. That means that we can build a kernel that works. And then we can kind of figure it out from there. Okay, so I assume that this is just like the standard kernel build, right? How do we like package up a boot image out of this thing? They're saying we can call unpack boot image, and that will give us a bunch of information. Then we have like this stuff, and then we have like a config that we make, and somewhere, okay, I mean they're asking for like some custom script, but somewhere we must be able to call like make boot image to make that thing. So let's start there and just kind of see if something interesting comes of it. Cause, you know, we gotta start somewhere. So how do you build the kernel again? Make Mr. Proper. We're going to assume that the kernel in the Lineage OS repo is like a good kernel. Let's assume that. And then we make def config using our platform. So I think this is going to be like Lineage OS cheeseburger def config. Then this will create a like something. This will make a like kernel image that we have to turn into like a boot image somehow, but we'll figure that out as it comes. Okay, make Lineage OS. What is it? LS Arch ARM64 configs. Make Lineage 1+5 def config. He's mad because how do we do like cross compilation here? Yeah, so there's some sort of like thing where if we just build by default, he doesn't cross compile, right? So how the fuck do we do that? Build ARM kernel, ARM Linux kernel x86. Like maybe we need some sort of like environment shit. Cross compile Linux kernel. This is not helpful. Okay. Oh, here we go. Yeah, okay, so there's this. So probably in this Halium shit, there was like a build env setup, and we did like breakfast for cheeseburger or something, and that like probably set a bunch of environment variables and shit. Right? Like in here, can we do like env grep arch? So probably in here when we build the kernel, it's probably doing something fancy. Like the build system for Lineage as a whole or Halium must be like setting cross compile like somewhere in here. I bet you if we do like a grep cross compile equals in here, like we'll probably find something. Um, or maybe we look for like kernel. Kernel. Makefile? This is like the Linux kernel makefile. It's not gonna be helpful. Device, maybe? One plus. You know, somewhere in here. Do you like see something like this? Yeah, so there's like target kernel arch in here. In here somewhere. Which like is probably interesting in some way. Right? The build probably does something with that. God, what a pain in my ass. It's just like everything is so spread out that it just makes it so hard to find anything. Um yeah, right. So here when they're like kernel arch does something here. And then this sets like kernel arch, which is like here they like set this kernel toolchain prefix, right? And then this is probably used somewhere to like set like cross compile somewhere. Yeah, so like in here we probably have like arch 64 Linux Android in like our environment somewhere, right? Yeah. Ugh, so we can't like is it even reasonable for us to just build the kernel like this? Because like it's all like part of the build system. Right? So building, I guess we need to build the kernel like in the context of like a Lineage OS build, I guess. Build like Lineage OS from source. I guess this is kind of where I have to go. How do we go from scanning barcodes to building new phone OS? What did I miss? You honestly, not a lot. Like I just decided I wanted to. That's about the extent of it. About the extent of it. Okay. So we still have the same Ubuntu 20 build environment, which is great. It's great. If you haven't previously installed ADB and Fastboot, okay, cool. We're chilling then. Install the build packages. I guess we should just double check that we have all this stuff. We probably do. We probably do, because we built Halium, which is supposed to be. Oh, there's like Java and shit. I don't want to build all the NHOS. I just want to build the fucking kernel. I just want to build the fucking kernel. Like, can we like list help here? Like, how do I like list targets? Oh my god. Um, run m help. Um, not helpful. Not helpful. Because I know that we had like make Halium boot, right? Like that was like a thing we could do, right? That like started like building a kernel and shit. But like, where is all this coming from? You know? And like, surely that's different than building Lineage. Maybe they'll talk about this in here somewhere. Um, bump, 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 bump. Okay, this is not help. Okay, they're just like fucking build. God damn it. I don't want to go through all this work. Build custom Android kernel. Maybe we do want to start reading fucking. Bump, 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 bump. Okay, sure. So they're like, there's also build sh. Okay, maybe we're on the Basil versions. So when did this start? Android 13. We're like pre-Android 13 for sure. Great. I mean, this is just different. Build custom lineage OS kernel. Let's see if somebody's. Here we go. Build scripts to build a kernel without something. This is not that old. Not that old. So what the fuck do they do? They like set some of these. And then they what? Then they just fucking run make? What is it doing? Print info, eval. Yeah, okay, I see. I'm assuming that this is make here. So they're like, they have some kernel make command. Which comes from like, hello? Does this come from some import? Yeah, it does, huh? Yeah, I see. So they're like, I have all of this shit. Oh, that's not trivial. It's not trivial! It's so much shit, man. It's so much shit. Okay. I think what I want to do is I want to build Lineage OS from scratch. Figure that all out, which I think is just going to be like based off of this thing. I think that's just more of like a waiting game. Then when when we have that, we can try to like modify the kernel in some way and like create custom boots. And I guess that's a tomorrow problem because I think it's going to be a lot of time to like get the Lineage OS sources and stuff. And my dog is antsy. She's still not feeling like she was sick and then she was better and then she's sick again. So I think if she's trying to get outside, I should let her outside. This is going to take a while anyways. So I think we come back tomorrow. Maybe I've figured out the Lineage stuff, maybe not. And we can see if we can get a little closer. Yeah. And we'll just kind of like try to chip down at it. Cool. Okay. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like what you saw, we stream most days at 12:30. We aim for till 4 o'clock Pacific time. It's early end today, 2:30, but you know, happens. This I think, I think we'll spend at least another day on this, depending on where our investigation goes. Maybe we find out this project is like a bust and we don't do it. Maybe we will. Who knows, right? But, yeah, we'll see. Yeah. YouTube, peace out. Twitch, let's find someone to raid.